Hi, it's Caitlin at a part of the bookshelf you don't normally see. And today's video is let's be realistic about how we're not going to read any of these library books in the next month and I should just return them now. Something I am actually about 20% into, or I was about 20% into in May, and then I put it down and I'm just realistically not going to pick it back up until the end of July, so I might as well return it now, is The Warmth of Other Suns. I'm reading other nonfiction right now for the Nonfiction Booktube Prize, and so I'm not going to get to this pretty dense nonfiction in the near future. So these are the first going into our stack of things to return. Let's be realistic about what I'm going to read. The Storm We Made. I do still want to read this a lot, but realistically, thinking about what's on my shelves, I have some books I want to read for projects, and this is not going to be on that list of project books, so I'm going to let this one go for now, and I'll pick it back up later. How to Talk When Kids Won't Listen. I just checked this one out, so I'm going to hold on to it a little longer. Warm Hands of Ghosts. I'm not ready to give it up yet, so I'm putting it back on the shelf. If I'm being honest, we're going to let it go. We're going to let it go because I'm thinking about books coming down the line. I can check it out again. At the Island's Edge. This was a new book when I picked it up. The author was at BookNet Fest. I might pick it up later, but am I going to read it in July? This is what I'm telling myself. It's the end of June. It's like June 27th. Will I read this in July? This is what I'm asking myself. Okay. A Curse for the Homesick. I really want to read this one, but this is due in the next 3 days, so we are returning that. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I do want to read this, and I think there's a good chance I'll be able to get to it. It should be a pretty fast read. Similarly, The Breakup Tour, I'm going to leave on here because it should be a pretty fast read. System Collapse, I have not read yet. I really want to, so I am going to keep that one. Network Effect, I think this is overdue, but at my other library, so we're just going to... Someone You Can Build a Nest In. This is one of the books that is part of my other project reading. I'm trying to read for the Hugos, and that one is nominated for Best Novel. Blood Magic by Vella Roth. I want to give this one at least a try because I don't know if I want to read it. So if I return it and check it out again, I'll feel silly. So I'm going to do a try a chapter thing, but that's not going to happen today. That's going to happen in the future. It won't be part of this video. How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen, a survival guide to life with children ages 2 to 7. This goes in that how to talk when kids won't listen vibe, so I'm going to put it over there. I just checked it out recently, and I do want to at least skim some of it before I return it. Huge chunk of Witch Hat Atelier books, and I keep telling myself it only takes me 2 hours to read one, so I just need to sit down and zoom through them, so they're staying here for now. The Siren's Call, How Attention Became the World's Most Endangered Resource. I really want to read this, but nonfiction right now is pretty much the things that I am currently reading or have to read in the near future. The Talent, again, I do want to read this, but based on the project reading I'm doing right now, I am not going to read this before the end of July, so I am letting it go back into the ecosystem. Among Thieves, I think I just checked this one out, and so I'm just going to hold on to it a little bit longer. Corinne, will I read this someday? Maybe, I don't know, but even when I read it, I probably won't enjoy it. I don't know. I'm not really a big hate reader, so this is going back to the library. Look how barely any books came off the shelf. All right, hold on. Oh, wow. Somehow the shelf is full again. Almost like I had my phone balanced on a stack of books and I just swapped them out once I took books off the shelf. Wow, how amazing. We did Among Thieves. Okay, Everything is Tuberculosis. I have checked this out now twice. This is my second time checking it out. If I had thought about it, I should have frozen the hold, but I didn't. But I am going to leave it on here a little bit longer because of that. The Roughest Draft. Should I return this? Yes. Am I going to? No. Part of Your World. This one is overdue, but I am going to read it. I'm going to read it. If I do not read this before July 4th, I will return it, okay? That's the plan. Canadian Boyfriend just got renewed. I am keeping that one. Of Monsters and Mainframes, just check this out, keeping it for now. The Hidden Moon, this one for sure I'm reading in the next couple days, so I'm keeping that. It's also from my other library system. This is the one, of course, wedged in the corner that we are giving up. And this is why. I do want to read Small Ceremonies, and I've been holding on to it, keeping a hold of it. Mari's Discord, there is a bingo every quarter, and one of these quarter squares is a Canadian author, and this is a Canadian author, and so I've been holding on to it, thinking I would read it before the end of the month to count it, but guess what? There are 2 other books I want to finish before the end of the month, and I have not even started this one, so it is going back for now, and I will check it out again later, maybe when it's more hockey season, okay? You think, oh, she did that whole shelf with a little refresh? We're totally done. We are not, because the next shelf up is also library books. So here we have a bunch of Kristen Britton's First Rider books. I read the first one, I reread the first one, and I was going to reread the whole series, and so I got it all at once, but turns out I froze on First Rider's Call. So I'm going to keep First Rider's Call for now, but I am going to return the rest of the series and check it back out when, and this is not even the whole rest of the series, because there's like, my library lost a couple, and they were like, yeah, we're not like rebuying them, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to check it out from my other library system until I need it. So anyway, the whole scoop is that we're going to keep First Rider's Call on here, and the rest are going back for now, and I will just check them out later when I get to them. Okay, that's what we're telling ourselves. You don't need a budget. I saw this mentioned in a YouTube video. Am I realistically going to read this in July? No, but maybe I'll try a chapter. This is my thought process, y'all. This is why I have so many books out of the library all the time. It's Not TV. This is from my other library system, and also I definitely still want to read it, so it's staying on here, even though I am reading a bunch of other nonfiction right now, but you know, it's fine. Margot's Got Money Troubles. We're keeping this one a little longer, even though realistically I should be returning it. Oh, here's what we're doing. I either can keep the rom-commers, or I can keep Margot's Got Money Troubles. I cannot keep both. Okay, I'm more... We're gonna keep Margot's Got Money Troubles, and we're gonna return the rom-commers for now, and I can always get it again if I actually want to read it. How to Fake It in Hollywood, though, we're keeping that one for now. Lighthearted romance, a thing I might actually read. Okay, let's keep... Ooh, there's a little hole on the bottom. Here, see, I'll just like... That's right, because I took Small Ceremonies off. There we go. Okay, the next three are books that I was pre-reading for my nephew to see if I wanted to recommend them to him. And that's three of these History Smashers books for like middle grade. One about the Underground Railroad, one about women's right to vote, and one about Pearl Harbor. I am going to keep these because I still think that's a good idea, even though I'm probably not going to read them in July, but whatever. Coop Knows the Scoop. Similarly, I was going to pre-read this and potentially give it to my nephew, but you know what? We're going to let it go. Okay. Beyond Ivy Walls, again, I'm keeping like historical romance right now because those are the things that I'm the most mood ready about, and I also usually read pretty quickly. So like I will pick this up on a random Wednesday and I'll be done by Saturday. Okay. That's how it's going to happen. 4,000 Weeks. I know I was probably supposed to read this before Meditations for Mortals, but I didn't. But you know what? I'm not going to read this in July. So it's going back to the library. I can get it later. A Heart and a Body in the World. I would return this because I don't know if I'm going to read it in July. But there's also a YouTube video that I am 3/4 of the way through, and I had to pause because they were going to talk about this book and I wanted to wait. So we're doing this. And look, I can actually like slide them back where they're supposed to be with the books that I own. Wow. The Red Palace. I do want to read this. But am I going to read it in July? No. So, and we're back to books that I actually own. So it's amazing. We have done it, y'all. That is Caitlin Takes Books Back to the Library. Now, don't ask me how many I'm picking up today because we will not discuss that.